Hello YouTube friends, Dr. Teresa Ulrich here again. It's good to be with you. Thanks for tuning in. I thought I would check on the progress of our future Seahorse tank. As you can see, I have all the decor in place. I have added a layer to the Seahorse feeding station, which will work out perfectly for being able to lower shrimp and provide a place for the seahorses to hitch onto and eat from in a centralized location. So the only thing holding us back, actually there are two things holding us back. I'm in the part of the United States that's going through an extreme, severe cold system, and the shipping of seahorses, even if the tank were ready, would just not be feasible. Luckily, it looks like the trend is starting to move up, but I do want to see how close we are to having good water parameters for even considering seahorses and getting ready to ship them. So a couple of clues I look for. We looked at it last time, my stick-on ammonia alert, and the center dot is the indicator of ammonia levels. I did not test ammonia this time because I'm pretty sure that things are converting very well from ammonia to nitrites, and we'll take a look at what those test results are. The temperature gauge has been showing pretty consistent, really no change of greater than 1 degree in either direction. So again, confirmation that I really don't need to keep a heater in here. Because the aquarium is against an interior wall and it does have access to a window, but not directly in front of the window, and it's not directly in front of a vent, so I have it at a good location, so things are staying very stable, which is great. And another sign that I thought indicated our tank was pretty close to ready is we don't see much in the way of protein skimming going on here. I'm just gonna view here. We can see it bubbling nicely, but when there is a lot of invisible waste to remove, the proteins and other visible matter in the water, you usually see that pouring over, that tower pouring over with foam. And last time we met, I actually had to use a regular bucket because I was fearful there would be so much water skimmed out that it would leak all over my floor. But you can see that that bucket is pretty empty. We really haven't had any overflow in the skimmer, so that's another sign that a lot of those proteins and other particles, invisible particles in the water are being pulled out, and it should be close to ready. Now, I did go ahead and do some more water testing, and we can see when we compare the nitrite color scheme with what the actual level is, it still looks pretty bad. But you may remember that the purple color last time was literally off the color chart. It was such a deep purple. So I do see this as progress. It doesn't look as deep to me as the 5.0 parts per million. In fact, it's comparable or even a little less than the 2.0 parts per million, which is great. We're making progress. It's taking much longer than I expected, but that's okay. Like I said, I wouldn't have been able to order seahorses anyway just because the weather has been so extremely cold. It wouldn't have been viable for shipping. But I did go ahead this time and take a look at what the nitrate levels were, even though I saw that the nitrites were way too high. And when I do the color comparison here with the nitrates, it's coming close to between 10 parts per million and 20 parts per million. And of course, we want that number to be as close to 0 as possible. But the good news about this is we're starting to see those nitrites that we saw in the purple start to convert to nitrates, which is the last stage of that nitrogen cycle, converting the waste. So a lot of people who maybe don't have a sensitive type of fish may see the nitrates as not being as dangerous to fish as the ammonia and nitrite levels, but for seahorses, we definitely want as close to zero as possible. So we'll try this again in a little bit. It's slow but sure, making progress. Aquarium's almost ready. It's getting exciting. It won't be too much longer before we're actually looking at seahorses and their antics and all the fun things that seahorses do. Thanks for joining me today. It's always great to be with you. I'll see you next time.